I'll seek you out, flay you alive.
Hey guys, Pogo here, and welcome to the next episode of the Survival Games miniseries. In this episode, we're going to write the lobby sign system. You can associate signs with arenas, and then the signs will be automatically updated with information from the arenas, like the current number of players, the total allowed number of players, the state of the arena, and other things like that. Before we begin with that, there's one mistake I quickly want to show you. Over in the arena class at the remove player, right here, the issue that was pointed out to me was that right here with this player, if there's one player left, it broadcasts that the player won the arena, and then it sets the arena state back to waiting. The problem with this is that this last player is never removed from the array list of players, and the player is never teleported back to the spawn. So what we want to do right there is we want to paste in right there. We want to remove the player, but instead it's going to be players.get0. We might actually just be able to say players.remove 0. Yeah, that should work fine. So we're going to remove the only remaining player, or the player at 0 index, and we want to teleport. Instead of p, it's going to be players.get0. And then right here, I'm just going to go ahead and write in players.clear just for safety. Just in case, for whatever reason, a player was not removed correctly, we want to make 100% sure that it's clear, or else that could lead to some serious issues later. So that's all for that fix. So we're going to go ahead and write the system for the lobby signs, and it's going to take a lot of work. We're going to have to write a command class for adding a lobby sign. We're going to have to write a sign manager, which will have a few listeners in it, and then it'll also have to handle loading in all of the signs correctly. And then we are just going to write a data class that represents the sign and contains some information. So let's go and do that first. We're going to write a class which we're going to call lobby sign. And this is just basically represents a lobby sign and contains some information. Instead of using, I don't know, a bunch of hash maps, or I don't even know how I would do it. The information that we need is a private location. We need to know the location. We need to know, we want an instance of the sign, and the sign is going to be org.bucket.block.sign, and that's going to allow us to call the method for changing the changing the text on the line, so that we can change it to the different information. And then we need a private arena arena, and then this is going to be the arena with which the lobby sign is associated. So basically, the arena will, excuse me, the arena, that's where we can get all of the information. We're going to go ahead and write a constructor, and this is going to take in a location lock and an arena, because in the lobby manager, or sorry, the sign manager class, we're going to have it when it loads in the arenas, or when it loads in the signs, sorry. When it loads in the signs, it's going to check for any issues. So if it's trying to load in a sign, but the sign at that location was removed, and then it'll remove it from the configuration. If it pertains to an arena that no longer exists, it'll be removed. So if there was an arena, and you had a sign that was linked to that arena, and then the arena went away, we would obviously want to unlink the sign. So that is fine there. So we're going to go ahead and say this.lock equals lock, this.sign is equal to, and we're going to cast sign to lock.getBlock.getState. And then this.arena is equal to arena. Then we're going to have, we'll go ahead and put in getters for all of these, and I think that maybe Eclipse will generate the getters for me. Yes. We only want, I don't want a setter. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to delete it. So we have our get location. I'm just being lazy right now. Oh, and you want to uncheck keep field reference, by the way. because then it'll do this weird thing. If you want to say this dot lock is equal to lock. And then, it's just easier to type it out. Public arena, get arena, return arena. Okay. So now we have getters for everything. And the last thing, or actually we need two things. We need a public void update. And then this is going to update the sign. And we're going to write that in 1 second. But we also, just to make it easier, let's just make the lobby sign implement configuration serializable, because then we will have, we'll add the unimplemented method, which will be serialized, and then this is just going to be easier to work with so that we can just serialize the information right here. So we're going to have a hash map string object, we'll call it data, and make a new hash map. And then we're going to say data.put location, and then the location will be lock, and then that will automatically serialize the location as well. And then we're going to put arena, and then this will be arena dot get ID, and then we'll just say return data. So we're storing the location of the sign and then the ID of the arena that we want to use. We're not obviously going to serialize the arena because the only thing that really matters is the ID. So that's good there. Let's just go ahead and quickly write the update. Go ahead and say sign dot set line. So we'll set line 0 to be SurvivalGames. And obviously this doesn't have any color in it. You could add color if you want, but it's just simpler for me not to. So then the next line is going to have the arena.getID. So it'll say SurvivalGames. Then it will say the arena ID. Then it will go ahead and say the state. And we need to wrap this in a string dot, or no, we can just do toString. Okay. That's fine. And then set line, not sign, sign. Finally, the third and final line will be arena.getPlayers.length out of getMaxPlayers, which we're just going to write right now. So the way that the sign will look is it will first have SurvivalGames at the top as the header or the title. Then it'll have the ID of the arena. Then it'll have the state, which would be waiting, countdown, or started. Then it will have the current number of players out of the max number of players. And now we're going to go ahead and quickly write, we'll just go ahead and write, I don't know, let's just put it right here. Public int get max players. For this we're going to say return spawns.size, because again we're basing the maximum number of players on the amount of spawns there are. If you want to make that configurable, if you want the user of the plugin to be allowed to specify how many people can be in the arena, you can also do that, but we're just going to do it like this for now. So that will go ahead and update the sign, and then finally we want to call sign.update. We want to make sure that we update the sign. After we change everything, then it'll make the data actually appear changed on the sign. So that should be everything there. We have the update method, we have the serialization factor, and everything else there. So I think that's good. Now let's go ahead and write the sign manager. I'm just going to call this sign manager. It's not going to be a singleton because we don't need to access it. We only need to instantiate it once, and it's going to implement listener because it's going to listen for, I think, just one event, but it's when a player right-clicks on a sign. We need to make sure, excuse me, we need to make sure that it will join them to the correct lobby. Sorry, my throat's a little bit dry right now. So right in here, we're going to have a private array list of type lobby sign. Excuse me. So we're going to store all of the signs, and you'll see why soon. And that's all that we need there. We're going to have a public sign manager, because then this will be instantiated once in the main when we register it as a listener. And right in here, first going to instantiate signs to be a new empty array list. Then we're going to go ahead and say for string key in settings manager dot get. Oh yeah, that's right. We need to, in settings manager, we need to add a third settings manager for the signs. So we're going to say signs is equal to new settings manager signs. Because we want to store the signs in a separate file. And we're going to say public static settings manager get signs return signs. So now we can do settings manager dot get signs dot get keys. So we want to go through all of the keys in here, and each key is going to represent a different sign. And then we're going to go ahead and say configuration section S is equal to settings manager dot get, not get arenas, dot get keys, or no, get signs dot get for key. So we're going to go ahead and get the configuration section from there. Then we're going to go ahead and say, we'll go ahead and say location lock is equal to s dot get, and it doesn't have get location, so it's going to be get for, I think we said lock, right? No, location. Okay. And now I think that we need to do a cast, and we might need to fix that. We might need to just write a method to load in a location, because there's no get location, and I don't think a cast will work there, but I don't know. We'll come back to that later. So we go ahead and load in the location, and then we'll say arena A, or just arena, we'll say, is equal to arena manager dot get instance dot get arena for s dot get, and then it would be get string. Is that a method? I guess it is, yeah. So then the string that we want to get is arena, I think. Yes. So then, first of all, we're loading in the location, and then we're also loading in the arena. So now we just want to do a few checks. If lock.getBlock is equal to null, or lock.getBlock.getState instance of sign, and we want to put this inside of a not. So if basically what we're saying here is, if the block at the location is null, or if the block is not a sign, then we obviously want to remove it because it's no longer there. So we're going to say settingsmanager.getSigns.set. The path is going to be key, and we're going to set it to null. And then we're just going to go ahead and we want to print this out. We're going to print it to error because it was an issue that happened. And then we're going to say removed broken sign at location lock. Then we also want to say if arena is equal to null, then we want to do the same thing. And instead of saying removed broken sign, we're going to say removed sign for non-existent arena at location. So now it'll tell us if we remove the sign. And then we want to just return, or sorry, not return, we want to continue. We want to continue going through the loop with the next thing. We don't want to do, because this last part is going to be instantiating. We're going to say signs.add new lobby sign lock and arena. And obviously, if either of these things check out, we want to continue the loop. We don't want to add a sign if we are not supposed to. So after we load everything in, we're going to go ahead and register, get server. Now, this is how I'm going to do this, and I'm mainly just doing this for simplicity. I need a way to, there we go. I need a way to call that update method, and now what I'm going to do here is I'm writing a repeating task that will happen every second. You could change this, or you could have it manually call update. You could have a method in Sign Manager called update signs, and then call it manually when something happens. But for easiness sake, I'm just going to do it like this. And I'm going to say for lobby signs sign in signs sign.update. So every second it will call that update method, and all that the update method is doing is it's just changing a few lines of a sign, so it's not very costly in terms of performance. So that really shouldn't be too much of a problem. So now we load in all of the signs correctly. Now let's go ahead and write our listener, and then after that all we have to do is write the command. So in the listener, at event handler, this is going to be an on player interact event e. So this is going to be when a player interacts, and we want to make sure that they are interacting with a sign. So if get action is not equal to action.rightClick block, then we want to return. So if you're not right-clicking on a block, then we don't care what the action is. Then we're going to say, now that we know that they clicked on a block, we can say get clicked block. So now we know that they're doing a block. So we can say if b.getType is not equal to material.sign and b.getType is not equal to material.wallSign and b.getType is not equal to material.signPost. So if it's not a sign of any sort, then we want to return. And you could possibly do if not b.getState instance of sign. You might be able to do that. I'm not sure. I'll leave it in a comment just in case. That might just be a simpler way of doing it. I'm not sure. So now we can go ahead and figure out what sign they clicked. So for sign in signs, if sign.getLocation, and sorry, this would be lobby sign. So if sign.getLocation equals b.getLocation, so if it is in fact the correct location, then now we want to go ahead and have them join. So we obviously want to break the loop, but first we want to say, let's go take a look at our join. All we have to do is say a.addPlayer. So we can do sign.getArena.addPlayer e.get, just get player. So what we do here is when a player interacts, if they're not right-clicking a block, we return. Then we get the block. If the block is not assigned, then we return. Then we go through all of the lobby signs that we have, and we check to see if the lobby sign location is the same thing. If this is the same sign, then we add a player to the arena to which that sign pertains. You could also, there might be a better way to do that. You could do check for text written on sign instead. If you wanted to do like get line 0, if get line 0 is equal to SurvivalGames, then add them to the arena at get line 1. You could do something like that if you want, but I'm just going to do it like this for now. Shouldn't really be too much of a performance issue, I can't imagine. And the last thing that we want to do is we're going to go ahead and copy the add spawn. Or actually, we're going to do add chest because it is very similar to what we're doing. Instead of adding a chest, we're adding a sign. So we're going to call this add lobby sign. And this is going to be a command, and it's going to be add a lobby sign. The usage is going to be the arena name, so we want to know the name of the arena to which you're adding it, and then it will be add lobby sign or add sign or AS. No, add spawn has that. ALS, add lobby sign. We'll just do that. So, first of all, we want to change this. So they need to specify an argument. We want to change the message to say, you must specify the arena to which you want to bind this sign. So if they don't specify the arena that they want to use with the sign, we obviously want to tell them that. Then if the arena that they have is equal to null, then an arena with that name does not exist. Then we want to get the target block. If it's null, they're not looking at a block. Here we want to say, if it's not an instance of sign, we want to say you are not looking at a sign. And then we don't need that line. We can just say, here we go. Settings manager dot get signs dot set to be, and then we want to take this part dot get arenas dot get keys dot size to new lobby sign target dot get location and arena. And then for this we're just going to say arena is equal to that, and then we're going to say if arena is equal to null. And why does this not work? We need to do string.value of. So what we're doing here is add lobby sign. It goes through all the checks, but then what it does is it gets the next key. And I explained this in a previous video that if there are currently 0 items, then it would set the key to be 0 and then the value to be the information about the lobby sign. If there's 1 item, then the size would be 1, but the item would be 0. It's not really important, but we're adding in a new sign, and we're instantiating the lobby sign class here because it already implements configuration serializable. And actually, now that I think about it, we probably, now at this point, we want to say new sign would not be in sign manager, because at this point we're setting it in the configuration, but it's not loaded into the sign manager. I'm not going to go through the trouble of making that work right now because this video is already very, 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 very long. But basically you could either reload the server, or you could go through the trouble of writing code to maybe make sign manager a singleton, or keeping an instance in the main class, or however you would go about doing it. To finish off, we'll go ahead and register the command and the listener, and then we are finished. So first we want to do cmds.add. We're going to do add lobby sign. So we want to register this add lobby sign command there. Then in main, we want to register a new sign manager, this. And then this will call the constructor, which will load in all of the signs and take care of that over there. So that's all for this video. We wrote the sign lobby sign system with a sign manager, a lobby sign data class, and a add sign command, add lobby sign command. As always, subscribe if you want to see more. Comment what you want to learn. If you like this video, click the like button, and I will see you guys soon with some more coding videos. Bye for now.